And you're an executive producer on the Willa series, right?
That's right. Yes.
So as executive producer, I mean, how much control does that give you? You come in and say, I like what you wrote here. Unfortunately, I'm the guy, so we're going to change all of that and do it my way. Or
no, not like that. It's more like what I asked for was to be on the team with the writers, sort of be in the room and to be able to persuade them, have the option of trying to persuade them. If I saw something I didn't like, I have the option to speak with them and talk to them and try to convince them to do it otherwise. But that's a rather negative way to think of it. The other way I think of it is I'm just part of the creative team that's working on the concept art and the characters and the casting and the writing and so on. And so there's a team of 3 writers. They're all excellent writers. And so they call me and we do Zoom calls together and they pitch their ideas and we talk about it. And I'll say things like, yeah, that's awesome. Do that. That's very, I was going to do that, but I didn't have room in the book for that. So yeah, go do that. Or I'll say, no, that sounds really, that's not going to be consistent with Willa's character. And we'll talk about that. And so they've sent me what's called a script outline. And I wrote lots of notes for that. And so we're just a collaborative team at this point. But I do not have control of anything. I'm just more of a advisor.
So I know that you kind of collaborate with your wife, Jennifer, as well as your daughters, right? You've described these as a kind of a family project. Do they get involved with television writing as well?
They do, yes. So when I read the script outline or the scripts, they read them right along with me, and they give their opinions, the good and the bad, and I kind of gel that all together and then communicate that to the team.
Gotcha. So I don't know if you're able to comment on this, but I would think, are you doing like maybe one season encapsulates the story of one book, so you've got another season ready to go, and then come season 3, it's time to think up a new Willa story? Or
yeah, so what we're doing is book number 1, Willa of the Wood, is going to be 2 seasons. And then Willa of Dark Hollow, book 2, is going to be the next 2 seasons. And if it's going very well, then I'll write a 3rd Willa book to give us more seasons.
Gotcha. And I had read that Amy Adams was expressing interest, or her company was expressing interest. I don't know if she's still involved at this point.
Yeah, it's beyond expressing interest. She's attached. And so she is the other executive producer. So it's myself, Amy Adams, and then the what's called the showrunner or lead writer is the other executive producer. So the way it works is that Willa of the Wood and Willa of Dark Hollow, basically the entire Willa series, however big it becomes eventually, was acquired by Entertainment One, or E1, which is this massive conglomerate that produces many of the TV shows and movies that we see in film today. And then they bring in what's called they're the financing studio. So they're the executives and the sort of overall decision makers. And they bring in what's called a production company. And the production company is the people who actually do the work. They hire the director, they hire the writers, they work on the location, the sets, and then they are the ones that do the work. So Entertainment One is collaborating with Amy Adams's company, which is called Bond Group. And Bond Group is Amy Adams' new production company, and Amy herself is the executive producer on the show.
Obviously, you're an executive producer, so you're going to have some influence on this. But do you have at this early stage any like dream people that you'd like to involve? Like my dream is, I don't care who stars in whatever adaptation they do of one of my works, so long as Hans Zimmer writes the soundtrack, we're cooking.
Yeah, I'll take Hans Zimmer, definitely. No, I don't have any dream requirements like that. The main thing is, and I'm also very flexible. For example, running a show, a live action television series for multiple seasons is a lot different than a novel, right? So in terms of the pacing and the content and so on, it's going to be a little different from the book, and that's fine. That's great. I'm all for that. You can add, in fact, more material than what's in the book, and I'm excited about doing that. But the main thing I really am trying to protect and that I'm most concerned about is to retain what I call the themes of the story and Willa's character and the things she would and would not do. So I just really want the story to be very consistent with the book, not in terms of the plot or the actual scenes that happen necessarily, but the themes and the gist of the story. And, you know, the themes being girl power and connectedness with nature and the complexity of solving large problems and staying bold when facing those big problems and so on. So I don't want anything I want to reinforce those themes, not abandon those themes.
Gotcha. So you can blow it up as big as you like, make it, 20 seasons, knock on wood. But so long as you're staying true to that, you're going to be a happy camper.
Yeah, right.